Hello friend, I want to tell you about the Skoda Yeti car. The Skoda Yeti is one of those cars that you don't pay much attention to when passing it on the street. However, once you get inside and spend some time behind the wheel of the Czech SUV, you will certainly like it. Many things will surprise you here, from the sensational dynamics to the exemplary spaciousness. And when you venture off-road, you will be speechless. Unfortunately, the design also has its flaws. If you are even a little interested in cars from the Volkswagen AG group, you have certainly heard many extreme opinions about the TSI petrol engines. Some point out their failure rate, while others praise them for their incredible flexibility and very reasonable fuel consumption. Who is right? Both. The TSI engines, of course with the exception of the basic 1.2L unit, cope quite well with accelerating the Yeti, but they struggle with many serious faults. In the 1.4 TSI engine, there have been reports of cracked pistons, damaged water pump clutches, and injection system failures. All TSI engines have a faulty timing chain tensioner that eventually stops tensioning the chain properly. As a result, this can lead to the chain jumping and the valves hitting the pistons. Repairing the drive unit after such a failure is an expense of several $100s. Fortunately, in some units the problem was solved under warranty. In addition, in TSI engines, due to direct fuel injection, carbon deposits can build up on the valves. The best choice would definitely be a diesel 2.0 TDICR. It is quite a durable unit. Not to be confused with the emergency engine with unit injectors 2.0 TDIPD. It burns little fuel, and in versions with power of 140 to 170 HP it also provides good acceleration. However, it should be remembered that in more worn-out models, there may be equipment failures typical for diesel engines, injector or dual-mass flywheel failures. Users also complain about the quickly clogging particulate filter. The problem occurs only in cars used primarily in the city. There is also the 1.6 TDICR engine, which is a bit too weak for this car, and even with low mileage, the injectors break down here. This is the only drawback of this engine. Depending on the version chosen, the drive can be transmitted either to the front wheels or via Haldex clutch to all wheels. The drive is transmitted to the front wheels, and the rear axle is only engaged in the event of slippage. If you were counting on a permanent system, then the Skoda Yeti is not the car for you. Customers can choose from 3 gearboxes, a 5 or 6-speed manual and an automated 6-speed DSG. The front suspension of the Skoda Yeti uses McPherson struts, while the rear uses an independent wishbone system. In the Euro NCAP crash tests, the Czech SUV achieved a very good result of 5 stars. What to look out for when buying a Skoda Yeti? First of all, it is better to avoid models equipped with an automated DSG transmission. Of course, the gearbox changes gears very quickly, and in this respect it is one of the best designs of this type. Unfortunately, once the mechatronics, bearings and dual-mass flywheel start to fail, huge expenses are involved. At what mileage can such faults occur? If the model you are looking at has done 200,000 to 300,000 kilometers, it is better not to risk it. Remember that most cars have their odometers rolled back. The electronics and electrics of the Czech SUV cause many problems during operation. Yeti users complain about a non-functional air conditioning panel, faulty speakers, faulty electric windows, failures of the engine control electronics, capricious electric folding mirrors and a faulty ABS system controller. What else can you complain about? First of all, a catchy gearbox. Fortunately, this problem affects a limited number of cars, loosening front seat backs, poor quality window and door seals, fuel lines prone to damage, a fault in a small group of cars, and sagging doors. The paintwork is also not very durable. In models without additional protective stickers on the rear doors, chips appear as a result of hitting stones. Year by year, the prices of used Skoda Yeti models are becoming more attractive, but unfortunately not all models are worth considering. To reduce the risk of serious faults, You must first and foremost decide on the right engine version and a well-maintained model from good hands. The market is full of models imported from the West in poor condition. The newer the car, the better. What is Yeti worth praising? First of all, for a wide selection of engines, interesting body styling, quite decent off-road capabilities, spacious interior, ergonomics and reasonable prices of consumables. Disadvantages? Emergency petrol units, conservative interior and irritating shortcomings. Thanks for listening to me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and rate my video. If you know of any problems with this car that I haven't mentioned, be sure to write about them in the comments.
I have good news for you. Now, if you are planning to buy a used car, or learn more about your car, you no longer need to search for the information you need on the internet. We have collected everything in one place for you, on the website carme.pro. Here you can find out everything about the car, what breaks and at what mileage, any problems with engines, chassis or gearboxes, which trim levels are better not to mess with and how not to lose money buying a used car. You will learn all this on carme.pro.